Welcome to Mishna study, Masechet Kilayim, Perek Daled Mishnah Vav. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss the vineyard that we mentioned in last Mishnah. Bet Hillel says you need to have a vineyard of 2 rows, right? So Bet Shammai said if you have 1 row of 5 vines, that's considered a vineyard. Bet Hillel says you need 2 rows. So we explained it as 2 rows of 3. But we're going to see an option where Bet Hillel has 5 vines spread over 2 rows, and there will be one instance when this will be considered a vineyard, right? With only 5 vines instead of 6, right? Instead of being 3 and 3, we'll have an instance where it's, 2, 2, and 1, as we'll see. Hanotea shtayim keneged shtayim v'achat yotzeh zanav, right? Person plants 2 vines parallel to 2 other vines, and one is coming out like a tail. Hareh zo kerem, right? This is considered a kerem. This is considered a vineyard. Hareh ze kerem, right? This is how it would look. Right, you see 2 parallel to each other, and the last one comes out almost like a tail. That's considered a vineyard, according to Bet Hillel, even though there's only 5 vines, right? Because it's spread out of 2 rows, and the last one is in the middle, coming out like a tail. That's considered a vineyard. But if it's shtayim keneged shtayim v'achat bintayim, right? 2 parallel the other 2, and 1 in the middle, or shtayim keneged shtayim v'achat bintayim, really in between, or shtayim keneged shtayim v'achat be'emtza, and 2 or 2 parallel to another 2 and 1 in the middle. That's not considered a vineyard. Until you have 2 parallel to another 2 and 1 coming out as a tail. Right? So Rambam actually draws these out for us. If you see the 2 parallel to the other 2, well, the first picture is the 2, and the 1 coming out as a tail. That works. That's considered a vineyard. The next one is 2 parallel to another 2 and 1 in between. So you see it's in between, but it's flush with one of the rows. And the other one is 1 in the middle. It's literally in the middle of the other 2 rows, almost like forming an X, right? So none of those work. The only time it works is if the one is formed as it comes out like a tail at the end. And why so? So I think over here it's because when you look at that last one, it could, if you're looking from different angles, you could almost see it as either one of those 2 rows. So because you could see it as either one of 2 rows, so it looks like 3 and 3. In a certain sense, and that's why it's considered a vineyard. I would just point out that Harambam is, again, this is Harambam's Perush, but Tunara explains this differently, very differently. But we're teaching Harambam, and this is how he explains it. Also in the Mishnah Torah, he follows suit in this path as well.